As she rolled over.
Sandy Brondello pleads her case. Carl Smesco has walked over closer to the officials. Meanwhile, there's theater.
Well, that's Sandy Brondello, guys. So, this is from the most recent game from the Dream versus Toronto. I think it was their last meeting. Dream won. They beat the Tempo 3-0, per usual. Ha ha he he. But this happened after Angel was driving to the basket on the Toronto side, and one of her players on the Toronto fouled Angel, but they also got hurt, quote unquote hurt. However you think if she was acting or not. When I saw it on the stream, on the podcast with some other people, everybody in the chat, everybody was just laughing because it just seemed because Toronto got floppers, right? And they flop a lot around Angel and they try to foul her out. This is what we see a lot generally around the WNBA teams when they go against Angel. So yeah, when we seen that shit, we were like, yeah, she's being so dramatic, right? It's just, and Angel, it was a basketball play, Angel's fine, but I guess the player just got the wind knocked out of them or some shit. I don't fucking know, but that shit was just, you gotta build some muscle, man. But anyways, they got fouled and they brought out a stretcher too, which I was like, what the fuck? Everybody was laughing. But I mean, I hope they're good, but it just bro, come on, man. So anyways, but yeah, they fouled Angel and Sandy wasn't happy and was saying, Angel, no, Angel hurt my player and yada yada. Even though it was a basketball play, Angel was just doing what she's supposed to do. And then Sandy, was just getting heated. She mad, and then she called Angel a protected species. Somebody said it was probably ticking, but no, I think it was protected species. Here's the thing. Yeah, it's an Australian thing to say, I guess, but this is a American-based league. Nobody says that here. So when you say it, it's just that's why everybody at first was like, what the fuck does that mean? What? I don't really, that's a little, I don't know how I feel about that. And yeah, so the thing is, it's like slang, I guess, for Australians when they play sports, and a player is getting favorable calls or something, and then they just call them protected, but they say species at the end. And the species part is just that's just, even for Australians, it sounds kind of weird. I don't know, man. Right? Even if there's no harm coming from it, the history of America, I mean, a lot of, racial things said to the black women include animal and stuff. So when you connect animal to species, it don't sound very good. It really don't. That's not the best thing to say in an American league, bro. Especially now, and especially towards Angel. She gets bullied online every goddamn day, past 3 years, called racial slurs all the time and shit. So I don't blame her for reacting like that. It's kind of weird. And then Angel, I don't even think an hour after the game, well, actually, yeah, an hour after the game, it was at 11, she said, calling a black woman a species, and Angel says, are we surprised? And then she adds Sandy Brondello with a clown emoji. So this is directly to Sandy, right? And the thing is, no hate to Sandy, but it's just been weird vibes lately, especially from leaving the New York team, and apparently some of the New York players had something to say about it. Maybe Sabrina, Brianna, I think one of them were, had some things to say, or just, rumors. But also Sandy, she had a whole game plan going against Angel. She was talking about it a lot. About 3 people on Angel, yada yada, and they did. Yeah, they did. 3 people all day on Angel. But I mean, that's not really, anything and nothing racial, right? It's just how you play basketball. And Sandy, before the game, was praising Angel a little bit too. So, but anyways, right? But I was just okay, I'm kind of neutral on Sandy. I kind of liked her before, but now I'm just neutral. But when this happened, I'm just yeah. So Sandy, then not even 24 hours later, thank God, issued an apology. It reads, Angel, I'm sorry. Last night, in the emotion of moment after Naira's injury, I used a phrase that I shouldn't have used, and I take full responsibility for that. My frustration was with the officiating, but my words unfairly put the focus on you. I also understand that my words carried an impact beyond what I intended, particularly for Black women in our league, and I'm deeply sorry for that. I've spent my career competing with, coaching, and learning from incredible Black women. I regret that my words caused hurt to a community I respect so deeply. I have a lot of respect for you as both a player and a person, and I sincerely apologize to you, your teammates, and the Dream organization for my comment. Honestly, I like the apology. It was direct. It was very quick, right? It was the next day, but it was like in the morning, right? So not even 24 hours. So I liked it. It was direct. And then she explained, she takes full responsibility. It was towards the officiating, obviously, right? And it's just she was just mad about the call, which I understand it's fairs, right? Especially the term. I mean, like they use it in Australian sports, whatever. But you gotta be wise and smart. That saying it in an American league towards a Black woman is not the best look at all. Like that can definitely be used racially. And there was a person on Threads who says that term specifically, though, they were like an indigenous from Australia. They said that's like a racist term, right? Like the white Australians are apparently defending the term used. It's like, oh, they use it in sports all the time, yada, yada. But, indigenous people on Threads, like, I've seen their posts, they're like, yeah, no, that's still a racial term towards us, and it's, it can be used as a racial term, basically, and it's not, they'd prefer it not to be used, obviously, because it looks like some history behind that in Australia, not a good look. But anyways, yeah, just generally saying it in an American League, not the best idea, but a good apology, pretty quick. Good job, Sandy. But unfortunately, Sandy is getting a 1-game suspension. And this happened same day as Sandy's apology. WNBA Communications, Toronto Tempo head coach Sandy Brondello has been suspended without pay for 1 game for an inappropriate comment she made regarding Angel Reese. Brondello will serve her suspension Monday when the Tempo hosts the Las Vegas Aces. Dang, you don't want to be out for that game. Fuck. The WNBA expects all coaches and team personnel to uphold the highest standards of professionalism and respect that are fundamental to our league. Yeah, so, I mean, at most, I would say, yeah, a suspension, but anything more than that, I don't think needs to happen. I will say again, they say it's common in Australian sports, but it's not common here. When you say it here, it's a different culture, bro. Like, you can't be, and some motherfuckers are saying, oh, but it happened in Canada, Toronto is part of the American League. Most of them are American players. It is just done in North America, right? Just because 1 game is held in Toronto don't mean anything. In Canada and America share the same fucking history anyways. Like, it just fucking, still Black people up there that, we have the same shit going around, like the same colonial powers and shit, so whatever. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I guess I agree to suspension. I mean, I don't, again, like, I like the apology Sandy said, and she probably said something in private to Angel too. Maybe, so I'm fine with that. Like, anything after suspension, I'm just like, whatever. But people were calling for her to be fired. I don't think Sandy needs to be fired. No, it's just again, it was definitely not the best idea. Did she use it in a racial way? I don't know, but it can be 100% used in a racial way, and a lot of people took it that way, and I kind of somewhat took it that way. But I'm just like, just apologize. I don't. And for the context it was used in, I don't think it's too bad. But I like the apology and yada, yada, yada. This person on Twitter, they said protected species isn't a term of endearment like y'all trying to pretend it is. It was meant to be an insult, just not a racial one. So it was going to be suspension wherever either way, just like when Kurt said Liz was 300 pounds. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, again, I don't think it was meant to be racially. an insult, but it was still, like, you could say it's an insult. You could like, oh, it's a compliment. I mean, I get that, but it's still used as in like, oh my God, they're protected all the time by the refs. And, like I think if you're saying that against an opposing team, like that's kind of an insult. But again, I don't think she meant it in a racial way, but that is not the best term or to say, you know. Um, and again, Australian, right? So I don't know if they ever say special whistle or something, but either way, Angel does not have a special whistle. Angel gets called for fouls all the time. Angel always like ends the game with like fucking 4 or 5 fouls for some bullshit. She got called for a travel today. It wasn't a fucking travel at all. She did 2 steps, right? They took 2 points away from her. That shit was so fucking stupid. Like, Angel does not have a good history with the refs. And Angel, listen, like, Angel does everything right. It's the calls, bro. She does not have a special whistle at all. We've been complaining this entire season and the seasons before. Like, it is ridiculous. Like, she gets fucking mollywopped and fucking trampled to the ground, like, every goddamn season all the time. So, But anyways, and then this last one, I was actually interested. A guy was talking like, oh yeah, Bentley, I heard she in that new movie and shit, but now she's saying all this shit. So this is what Timmy says. She's on a Toronto Tempo. Yeah, she's an actor too. She's in like one of that new movie. I don't know what it's called, but she says protected species is a figure of speech, and I see nothing suspension worthy with that. Brondello said species is the unfortunate and touchy word of this well-known phrase, especially in the U.S. racially charged climate. But if she was saying it about Cece, an appropriate comparison, popularity, there would be no outrage. No, now would there? Suspension is laughable. Yeah, I think there would be a suspension or like some type of punishment, or maybe like a tech or something against Cece if somebody said that about a player, right? Because I mean, again, like I get this is fucking stupid. I don't know why she's saying this shit. It's clear as day, obvious, right? So against Cece, right? I mean, the Sandy would be punished too. Like you're just saying something about another player, and it's kind of used as an insult. That I mean, if you're saying it against like on an opposing team player, yeah, insult. I believe so. And then also it's just like yeah, you don't be saying that shit, right? But and then also Cece is white too, so like you can say like a suspension would it be? I think that's why they're saying it. And also because oh yeah, Cece is popular. Well, I guess she said because Cece is popular and she gets a special wisdom. I guess, but you're still saying an insult to a player, right? You're a coach. You're saying that about another player on the court. Like, it's just, no. And it's even worse if, the player is black. You're saying the word species. It was like, what the fuck is this scientific bullshit, right? So I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. And also, she's like a British black person, so they're different. Okay, yeah, they're different. They're not in the know. They don't fucking know shit. So right, it's just like, bro, this is suspension worthy. It doesn't matter. It's worse when it's a black person or like a person of color, because it's just like that's terms like that are used racially, but with anybody, I think that'll be a suspension in our league. That's a fucking insult. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's so many people just going against Angel, right? Like, Angel does not have any, or a lot of friends in the league at all, man. It's sad, bro. Especially coming from, like, I mean, they're black and British, but, like, they're still black, quote unquote, whatever. So it's kind of wild to just see that shit. Like, I get they're trying to stand up for their coach, but like, bro, like, and Angel gets shit online for like the most stupid shit or like literally nothing at all. And she's piling on to it, so it's just so fucking annoying, bro. Oh my god. But anyways, that's it. What do you think? Comment below. Again, do I think there should be some punishment? Yeah. Would I have been mad if there was none? Not superly. Again, because I get why Sandy said it, but I guess, at the end of the day, it is an insult, so it should have been like some repercussion or like a tech or something. But they gave her a suspension upright. So, yeah. All right. Well, whatever. Oh, Jesus Christ.